Okay, everybody, welcome to another week's episode of the Wolf Pack. This week I got Kate from kt8, or is that just Kate?
Yeah, you can call me Kate. kt8's actually the band, but my name is Kate.
Okay, all right, cool.
Kind
So
of like
there you
my name
go.
is Hate, but it's like a play on words.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I kind of thought too. I wasn't 100% sure, but that's what I assumed. So, anyways,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, I'm coughing here, but yeah. So, no, I was gonna say I got the
Mhm.
album cover and all the lyrics and stuff like that, but I usually kind of like to start my stuff out with. Just kind of ask you how you got into the whole pro white scene and how you ended up becoming, uh, getting yourself into the movement and the cause and everything. That's usually where I start, like what brought you in.
Yeah. Yeah, those are good questions. I have been in the scene pretty much my entire life. I grew up in a very idyllic area of Southern California. If you can't tell from pretty much all of my posts on Facebook and every time I talk, I'm from Orange County. I was born and raised here. And so I grew up in South Orange County in the 90s, and for lack of a better word, there really wasn't a lot of diversity. It just was not. There wasn't multiculturalism. It's not like it was. It's not even like it is now. It's just the life I knew. It was very idyllic. It was all white people. I did not have people in my presence who were of any other race, and it was beautiful, and I had a beautiful childhood for the most part. And so that was just kind of what I knew. And as I started getting older, I started seeing the way of the world, and I saw what kind of happens outside of the place that I grew up, and I was like, what? Like, what even is what who are these people? What are they doing? They're savages. Like, I don't understand. They're honest. I don't understand their way of life. I don't understand why people would want them around them. I don't get that whole thing. And so when I, set sail on the internet, when I got my first computer, I started finding that there were other people out there who just had this sort of natural inclination, like I did, that that type of society does not appeal to me, and I do not. I just won't partake in it. I won't do it. And when I set sail on the internet, like I said, I did see that there was music and there were groups. There was a place, a voice for people like me who were not interested in that type of lifestyle.
Yeah,
So ended up finding like-minded people. I really got into the music, which is another really exciting part of writing this record, because I got to work with most of my heroes that I was listening to when I first started out in the scene, and listening and kind of exploring and seeing what was out there that kind of had my same ideals. And so I mean, the main person that I wrote my record with is Roy from Final War. He's a very old friend of mine, and I grew up listening to his music. It was amazing. That type of stuff, it just really got to me. And Screwdriver, and so many different things. And I would hear that Final War sound, and it was very Orange County. I understood it and all of that. So when we got to work together later, it was a very natural progression, because it was like I understood his music, and he kind of understood what I was interested in, and kind of the way that I wanted to go with this. And so it was kind of hard in the beginning to learn songwriting and whatnot, but we can get into that later. But yeah, as far as the scene goes, this is not like I didn't discover this. I went looking for somewhere that I could live the life that I wanted to live. I'm not I don't do well with anything other than my genuine personality and my genuine views, and I'm not able really to put on a facade that I'm interested in multiculturalism, or that I am interested in any type of society where any of that sort of savage behavior is acceptable. And so I found it, and this is my life now.
yeah. Well, I know when I was out there when I think I met you last year at the Hammerfest, and
Yes.
that was when I talked to you about doing an interview then. And then you know how I got banned from Facebook, as I always do. So
Yep, I got banned
yeah,
from Instagram and I'm actually completely shadow banned right now. I mentioned it a couple weeks ago on my Facebook. My reach, ever since, because I wrote all the lyrics for my new records, so I wanted to post every week just a little snippet of the records because I've been writing my whole life, and this is super exciting for me. And I know I haven't done any previews or anything, so I kind of wanted to show people what they can expect from the lyrics. And it took about 3 weeks for me to get a full shadow ban. Now, when I post things, it goes to about 20 people and it sits there. And so I have been banned from Instagram. They actually banned my IP address. Like, I cannot even go on Instagram from any of my devices. And so Facebook, I'm really trying to be good, but if you don't see my posts, that's why I'm completely shadow banned. Even to get this interview out to people, I had to, talk to people all over the world and say, I'm completely shadow banned. I want people to know about this. I want people to hear it. And I had to do a bunch of groundwork, and I'm getting every one of those views almost by hand. So I
yeah,
won't I won't accept that from Facebook. I absolutely will not. I'm not doing anything wrong. I know the words that offended them and it's stupid, and I'm just not going to accept that from them. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm sure I'll get banned again, but I will come back. So it sucks. It super sucks. And then the YouTube purge that just happened, that also is very disappointing that happened. So much good stuff got deleted.
yeah. I know. That's why I've been doing my little radio show, the White Power Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been putting in a bunch of bands promoting this stuff because I knew they had gotten rid of I don't know, Jesus, tons of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that I used to listen to on YouTube. You know, like they had Spear Chucker by People Haters. I used to,
Mhm.
pop that on every morning when I'd wake up, and it'd be like, oh, now that's gone. Well, that's fucking gay.
No, it
It's like,
sucks. And
yeah,
kind of like I said, when I was finding my place in the world, the internet is how I found all of this stuff. And so, the fact that that whole purge happened on YouTube, it's sad. It's sad to me because there are kids out there right now who are saying I feel this way, and they've got the media in their face every single day saying what you're saying, what you're thinking is wrong, and now we've taken so many steps back, so we're not able to counter that. And every time I spend my time trying to get my stuff in front of people, I think of those kids, and I'll keep doing it. I'll keep banning me. I'm gonna keep doing it.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing too. Is like that. My last YouTube channel got took down, and it's like, you know what? Oh well, I'll just come back with another one. I mean, I got a backup
Yes.
channel for this channel too already. You know, as soon as I got one channel, I'm gonna have at least one or two backups. So they can ban me and post me all they want. I've been, I don't know, Jesus, at least 30 or 40 different profiles on Facebook.
Yeah.
They're not gonna stop me from spreading my message and doing what I can to talk to other people. I mean, they've slowed me down, I guess, a little bit to sometimes where I may not rant and rave quite as much about the non-whites that pissed me off that day or something. You know,
Yeah.
I might be a little less ranting on it, but also at the same time, it's it doesn't even take that. It can just be a little spicy meme that you got on the internet. You know, something real funny that they decided they're going to ban you for. So it's just I don't know. It's ridiculous, but like I say, it's not a big deal. You just got to pick up and do it. And then I was going to say, if they're banning your IP address, you should probably get one of those download a Tor browser, and then you can
Oh
just
yeah.
then
Oh
you got
yeah.
a whole new IP address, and they don't
I
even know. You know.
they basically being on these social media apps has taught me to be a private investigator for no reason, like a amateur private investigator, and just to keep it out there because it is so hard to get it out. But we're going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing this. I am just so excited. This is something that they can't take away from us. They can keep banning me, but I'm gonna continue. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I also don't show my face. You're not going to see my face anywhere because it's not safe. I wish I could, but it's not safe because of this incredible war that they wage on anything that mentions, a counter thought for multiculturalism, and it's really unfortunate. But yeah, if I get banned, and the funny thing was, I actually knew exactly what song was going to get me banned, and the moment I posted it, I was shadow banned. I actually even tried to repost it, and I couldn't get it to anyone. And so that kind of confirmed it to me that those type of words, it's for I don't know if you read the lyrics, but the song Orsic 1945, that song in particular, I tried to mask the lyrics a little bit. I kind of knew that was going to happen, but yeah, the Facebook spiders, they were upset.
Yeah, oh well, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Anything, I'm sure that probably some of the first videos that YouTube banned was like some Lanzer Adolf Hitler Unserführer or something like that, which I
Yeah.
just had that song on the last episode of the Castbox. So if anybody's listening and wants to listen to some old Lanzer with some of the band stuff, send them to prison. I got it. So there you
I
go.
love that.
And
It's just
yeah,
sad. It's sad for the scene, only because it's like there are people also out there. I mean, our music is hard to obtain. And so, that was a really easy way for you to explore bands and kind of just feel like you're part of something. And when that whole tidal wave of deletions came, it hurt a little. But you know what? We're gonna come back from this. We're going to.
yeah, well, I mean, I also think too, part of some of that, it's kind of good in a way too, though, if you think about it, because a
Yeah.
lot of people weren't buying the CDs; they would just go and listen to it on YouTube, and they never buy a damn CD.
Yeah.
And like when I first started in this scene, you were talking about Roy and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
the first band, one of the first live shows I seen, well, one of the first, I'll just say, it was actually probably like second, because first one I seen was Max Resist, and then it was like another 7 years before I went to another show. So it was a
Yeah.
while, but then I went and seen Extreme Hatred and Youngland and Hate Crimes down in Nordic Fest in 2000,
Yeah.
and what I was saying was that back then you buy CDs, you go to the table. Resistance had a booth, Panzerfaust. You go over there, you buy this stuff, and everybody bought it. And that was how they was able to hold big events like the
Yeah.
Nordic Fest. That's how the Hammerfest was able to do a lot of that stuff because a lot of those bands, record sales, would do concerts and shows. So it's
Yeah.
like people, if they support the bands and they actually want to see some shows and they want to actually see new music out there, they need to start buying it more and ripping it off less. I mean,
Yeah.
in our day, we traded tapes and CDs, so at least somebody was buying some of the stuff and be like, here, I'll trade you this tape or CD, and then you know what I mean. Like I got a couple screwdriver tapes, and you trade
Yeah.
Midtown Boot Boys and stuff. So we was all at least buying something and making copies, dubbing them, handing them out to each other.
That's
There was
kind of
something
like
happening.
that sort of nostalgic vibe is so cool. I love that. And part of me wants kt8 to be mysterious like that. If we could release it on like tapes that are like the titles written in blood and there's only 100 of them, I would do that. Like that mysteriousness is just so cool because that's how it feels. That's how it feels every single time I talk about my beliefs, every single time I talk about my band. I have to be hush hush about it. I have to be, ready for a full on, just battle of words. And it's sad. It's just so unfortunate. But you know what? Also, on the flip side of that, people who are interested in music and who are interested in making this type of music, you're never going to make money. You're never going to get, make it because you believe in it.
I mean, you'll
It's
get free trips to Europe at least. I mean, if nothing else, you can get a good vacation.
you can,
So,
but like the
that's
real reason to do all of this and put in all your hard work and everything is just to share these messages and make it authentic. And you're going to find people that literally are just like you. They're out there. The media is not telling the truth. We're all out here. And it's so wonderful. Like when I get to play shows and stuff and I see, especially when I talk to other girls, it is the best. And they say, oh my God, I cannot wait. Can I take a picture of you? I want to show my daughter. I cannot wait. Can you send me a record? I just want to show her. And that's really, really cool. And no one in our scene has a facade that this is going to be their full-time job or they're going to make money from it or anything like that. And so, yeah,
yeah,
it's true. Buy records because then we get to do other things with it. But on the flip side, if you have an interest in creating music, dude, make it happen. Learn it. I don't even play an
yeah.
instrument. I mean, I could talk forever on how, it took a year and a half for this to come together. I don't play an instrument. I kept pushing it forward. I stayed up late. I woke up early. I wrote every chance I got because I want to share my message with people. And so that's another reason why this is just so exciting to do. And I am really excited for everyone to hear this record.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That is awesome. And that was the other thing I was going to say too, is the one nice thing about where you're at is uh, you have a lot of people down there in California. So like people outside of California don't realize how big the scene is there in like Southern California and just in California in
Yes.
general. There's, if you guys have a show that, you know, like I probably haven't heard about some of the shows. Like last night's friend of mine from California was at a Barking Irons show, and I'm just like, wow, okay, that's cool. I
Yeah.
didn't even know they were playing, you know. And then I see
Yeah.
Warren get up on stage and start singing. So it's like, you know, and there's, you know, it didn't look like a huge crowd, but you know what I mean. Like you guys can get a show together, have
No, we
like
absolutely
a,
do. We absolutely
a
do.
week to a month, and there's 300 people will pop up. You know, just 300 people all from down there in like Southern
Yeah.
California area. It's like, fuck,
Honestly,
man.
it's like if you don't want to go to a show that weekend, you need to tell people like I'm don't call me because every single weekend there could be something to do out here. It's so awesome. And that is the scene that I've grown up in, really. I mean, I've been with my husband who's in multiple bands. He's played with Max Resist, he's played with Final War, White Knuckle Driver. I mean, that's how I got my start in live music is I was, you know, the girlfriend sitting on the couch during band practice. And one day I, you know, just said, I can sing that song. I literally can sing that song. And I did it and their mouths dropped and they were like, what? And since 2011, I've been playing live shows with Screwdriver covers, and it was not hard just to integrate into this scene. I mean, I got to play a ton of shows in Southern California since 2011, just doing Screwdriver covers, and it was like whenever we could find the time, we would practice, and there's always stuff to do down here, and it's all stuff towards the cause, which is so cool. Which is I did get warned before I started making this record, and I did get warned before I started playing live music that if I were to go down this path, it's going to be very limiting for me. That if I ever wanted to do anything constructive with my voice, that I needed to just sing punk rock or I needed to just sing, you know, a different type of genre. And it is limiting now, even where I'm at with any opportunities that I don't really get to do a lot of the things that I want to do because of my message. I don't get to, you know, do things that other people in bands get to do, but it's so authentic and it's so from my heart that I'm okay with that. I told everyone I don't care. I would rather play to 10 people who are like-minded and who are just living for the message that I'm talking about than 1,000 people at a venue down here opening up for a punk rock band. That is not why I do this. This is my blood, sweat, and tears. This is what I actually believe in. And if it limits me, it limits me. And that's fine with
Yeah,
me. But yeah,
yeah, no,
Southern
I hear you.
California, this is the place to be. Orange County forever. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, no, I hear that. I mean, that seems to be where the most amount of people that are. I mean, I just every time I go out there, there's always something happening. Lots of people. You
Always.
know, it's cool. You know, I mean, admittedly, it's not as nice as the Midwest because up here we got actual seasons and we got trees and
Yeah.
forests and mountains and hills and all that stuff. But hey, you know, you guys got the
We have
desert,
fire.
the beach.
We have really cool, like crazy fires. Like it looks apocalyptic here. You know, there's like seasons on who people that are burning and whatnot. It's craziness out here.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a little grief about
I know you have to
you
find
know
something
the
about
desert.
Orange County to tear it down. It can't be that nice of a paradise. I understand. I
Well,
understand. I moved
I don't
to it.
know. Actually, you guys don't have a desert there, do you? So
Yes,
yeah,
we
I guess
do.
you just gotta. Do
I
you?
see
I thought that was.
like a desert. Yeah. Yeah, it gets pretty deserty like on the outskirts of Orange County out towards like the further you get from Orange County towards the Inland Empire. We've got some rad deserts out there. The desert's
No,
awesome.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. I don't know. I mean, I lived in Phoenix for a while. I wasn't fond of the desert. I miss seeing green trees and everything, but you know.
Yeah.
But Phoenix was nice. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm digressing, just talking
It's
about
all
going
right.
out there. but that was cool because I got to see the Oi Fest one year, and I lived out there for a little while. It was nice because, like I was saying, it may not have been quite as populated with people as
Yeah.
Southern California, but it does got a pretty good scene. There's a lot of people.
I
Most
went
of
to a
them.
couple of those and it was super cool. I another dream of mine was I love the band Youngland. So Youngland is amazing. They are just the coolest band. I grew up listening to them again. And at one of those Oi Fest shows, I got to sing with Youngland and it was magnificent. It was, I'll never forget it. I got to wear the cowboy hat. I got to sing and it was just really cool. And
I
so,
don't know what year was that because I got super hammered in 2013 and I kind of blacked out. Don't remember all of it.
uh,
the
I
last
don't
year,
know. I have
the
no
last
idea.
the
That was
last year
when I
they did
drank a
it.
lot. So,
Oh yeah. So he did the same thing as me. I
yes.
got pretty drunk that time too. I remember I was supposed to be watching the gate and I was so tired from I don't remember what it was, but
Well,
I
you're
think I'd
never getting
stayed
a
up all
security
night.
job again.
Yeah, I fell asleep at the gates. I was all I
That's
remember one time
good.
I was hanging out with the guys from uh, Empire Falls, and we were
Mm,
drinking a bunch of whiskey. So I was hanging out like from with James from the TCM, the guys from Empire Falls,
yeah.
and some skins from Phoenix.
Mhm.
One of them drank, and the other guy was like straight edge. But I think they both just got out of prison and shit. And I was talking to those guys. It was pretty cool, and I don't know. We just had a good time. It was a lot of fun. I didn't see the straight edge guy the next day though, so I guess he just didn't want to be around that many people getting drunk or something. I don't know.
He's probably sleeping in. Dude, straight edge people probably sleep so good. My God.
Maybe.
Good
I mean,
Lord.
yeah. But I remember talking to a dude from Youngland and stuff. We had a pretty good time. And I was getting nice and hammered talking to him, and
They
then
are iconic.
he
I
always
love
he
Youngland.
always he always reminded me. I swear, I thought he was Sean for a while, but then I'm like, no, that's not Sean. But I don't know if I got drunk and was like Sean, and he's
Sean
like, no,
from
that's Sean.
Exorcist.
Yeah. So,
Sean is
it,
another very close friend of mine. He actually married my husband and I at our wedding.
oh, that's cool. I didn't know if he was a minister.
He is
That's cool.
a minister of
No shit.
Satan and drugs. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. It was
Yeah,
a
that sounds
legitimate
about right.
ceremony in
Yeah.
front of my family. So it was a legitimate thing. Another cool thing about Sean is when I was writing this record, I was really struggling, and he kind of knew that I was struggling because, again, I don't play instruments. I have melodies in my heart. I have things that I want to say, but it's hard for me to communicate them. And one day he looked at me when I was struggling and he said, I have one piece of advice for you with writing. Nothing is original. And I'd never heard that from anyone. I thought that music was this mystical thing where you kind of had to stay in your own lane. It's going to come to you and it's just going to be this new original thing. And it's so amazing. It's just going to come to you from the ether. And he looked at me and he said, nothing is original. Take like inspiration from things that you like and mash them together and look at things components of other songs that you like and make them into your song. If you like something, see what you can do with it. And that like honestly changed my life because I felt so much pressure just to be like, listen to this thing that I wrote today, it sounds like nothing you've ever heard. And then when he told me that, I was like, okay, I get it. And so we one of the cool things with this record that you guys will hear is every song is a different genre of music. And that is on purpose because Roy and I really sat down and we said, how do we want KD8 to sound? What do we want? And I was like, I can sing like a lot of different types of music. I really can. And he was like, dude, let's write like one song from every genre of music except rap. Like there's no rap on the KD8 record.
Oh, thank you.
You know what
Thank
I mean?
you.
Like we
It's
do
these
not have
goddamn kids.
dubstep, we don't have reggae.
Oh,
I do not like ska. I do not like reggae. Can't relate, don't understand that whole thing. So there's no. But there's everything on this record and all 8 songs are something different. And so that was really cool to do. There's even a ballad. At the end of the very last song is a slow ballad that's totally rad and it comes straight from my heart. That's the most interesting thing about this whole record. I showed it to my brother who like means the world to me. I love my brother. And we went and we listened to it and he just looked at me at the end of it and he was like, that was like a spiritual journey. Like that was deep. And I was like, that is exactly what I'm going for with this. It just touches so many different subjects, but when you listen to it, you're gonna hear the authenticity. And that's what I was going for.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That is pretty cool. Which reminds me, since you talked about your brother, I remember meeting him down there at the Hammerfest. That was a really cool guy.
My
Hats
brother's the
out to him.
coolest.
Yeah, tell
Shout
him I
out to
said
my
what's
brother.
up. Tell him I said what's up. He was really cool. I liked him.
He's my hero. He's
Yeah.
just the best.
Yeah.
And he like that's another thing of why this is just so special to me. I love making my family proud. I get excited showing the people that I love like the things that I'm doing, and they've been with me through this whole process, and to see them get excited about shows that I'm playing, or getting excited about this record that I wrote, like that is so cool. I love it. And that's what it's all about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. That's always cool. And like you
Yeah.
said, it's nice to have something new. And I like that you're saying you put in a bunch of different styles of music, and you made
Right.
sure you didn't put in rap there because that's something I've noticed. A lot of these young kids that have been popping into the scene, they're all like, "Oh, I like this Mr. Bond or this Wig Nasty or this," and I'm like, "Dude, seriously." I fucking hate rap, but I mean, I
Okay,
can't
I
stand
heard Mr. Bond for the first time the other day, and I was like, "What in the actual f is this?" That is, I don't know how I feel. I have no comment. I don't know, but I think it's amazing. It might be amazing.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't like it. I don't. I'm old school. I hate rap. I think it's
I
fucking
don't
mean
like rap either, but I'm
garbage.
like, is this guy serious? Is this actual music? And I'm hearing that it's serious, like it's real.
Yeah, he's a real fucking dude.
That is so cool.
He's some kind of German or Austrian national socialist trying to spread the message of national socialism through rap.
The
But
interesting thing is when you listen to his stuff, like it's historically accurate. There is a bunch of stuff in his lyrics that you're just like, okay, yes, that is
yeah,
totally right. And yeah, no, I did hear it. I was like, am I dreaming? Like, what is this? And then I fell down
yeah.
the YouTube hole and I was like, good Lord. It's amazing because that stuff didn't get deleted.
Yeah, it's probably
You
because it's
can
rap.
still find a bunch of that shit in there.
It's probably because it's rap, man. They don't
Yeah,
make
they're like,
rap.
"You know what? Listen to this. This is fine. They can listen to this." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Whoa, dude, this is crazy."
I'm guessing it's like I said, it's probably because it's rap and they probably didn't listen to it. They just
Yeah,
assumed it was some degenerate nigger shit, and it was like,
yeah,
oh yeah, promote that crap. Which I mean, eventually they'll figure it out and probably ban all the
definitely.
stuff off of YouTube. But I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I understand a lot of young kids enjoy that style of music, but that's just I'll never enjoy
dude,
it. Never
I
like
honestly
it.
don't get it either. I really don't get it, but if one kid out there is like, "I like rap, but I also like white people. Look at this. Look at what I found." It's like, "That's cool. Get
Oh
down with
yeah,
yourself."
the reformed wiggers. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's like,
hopefully.
and then they'll be like, "Whoa, what is this screwdriver thing?" So it's like it's all part of the tangled web. So we'll see. We'll see how
Yeah.
that turns out. Good
Oh
luck
yeah.
with yeah.
I mean, like you said, it's a way to reach out to the kids, and it's
It
a
is.
way to do it. I mean, that guy, what was it, Kev Turner from Skullhead? He ended up going and doing a whole bunch of like electronic disco, like
Yes.
electronic dance music or whatever. And his, I don't know, he had a different name for whatever his little DJ thing was. It was like DJ Boot Boy or something. I don't know exactly, but I'm just because I just did an electronic episode, which I don't like that music, but those Eastern Europeans love that shit. So I ended up putting out a one that was all electronic music. And
Yes.
it
I
was
do not hate electronic music at all. I am really into running. Do a lot of running, and so electronic music is good for that. So like if there was like some white power electronic music, I would be totally into that. But
I'll put
yeah,
I'll
I
put
don't
it in the
know.
link or I'll send it
That's
to
the
you in a
thing though, and that's
message.
another reason why there's so many genres on my record is that it's really hard for me to pinpoint what type of music I want to do and what type of music I like. It's
Yeah.
like, what am I feeling that day? We even have a song on the record called Black Cathedral. And so Black Cathedral is a mid-tempo, very dark goth song because before I found, white power music, I found and I was given a record by a band called Christian Death, and they are, you know, one of the essential 1980s goth rocks here in Los Angeles. And that stuff just went right into my DNA. I don't know what it is. I was so excited to put some dark songs on this. And that's why a lot of the imagery that you'll see, I did the artwork. Side note, I did all the artwork for the record, and you'll see it's very dark. It's not, you're not going to find, you know, illustrations of people in boots and braces. You're not going to find illustrations of different things. It's all very dark. It's all occult type things, because that is what that's what speaks to me. And you know, that's another reason why I put Orsic 1945 on the record, is because I feel like the occult side of the Third Reich is something that's very like underrepresented.
Misunderstood.
It's misunderstood, and it's also very underrepresented in history. It is a legitimately huge part of history, and not only of the Third Reich, but of white culture, of white history, is that the occult societies, different things like that. And that is something I've always been fascinated with. So you'll see throughout my songs, there's a lot of occult things. There's a lot of there's just dark stuff in there. That's just what I like. That's what I like. And so yeah, there's a lot of on the flip side of that, there's a lot of Nordic imagery. So I've always been obsessed with Nordic mythology, you know, all of that sort of stuff. So you'll see a lot of ravens, a lot of wolves, a lot of, you know, the opening track is called Ravens and Ruins. And so yeah, there's a lot of different subjects like that throughout the record.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I think about it. It kind of reminds me. It sounds kind of like the style. I guess the artwork kind of reminds you of
Mhm.
some gothic. Uh,
Yes.
you know, some gothic stuff, some Death in June, or
Yeah.
some Blood Access type things, stuff like that. But
So
with
I
the
also have a deep obsession with true Norwegian black metal, Burzum,
yeah,
Throne. I literally worship Varg and Fenriz, and they're my everythings. And so when I envisioned the artwork for this record, that's really, you know, that cover, that Dark Throne cover where Fenriz, it has the paint and he's holding the candelabra in the forest and that sort of thing. That is just magnificent. That is everything to me.
well, you're
And
talking about
so
Transylvanian Hunger.
yes, and so yes, Transylvanian Hunger. And the funny thing is, I don't know if any black metal fans out there will get it, but I did do there's a song on my record called Hyperborean Hunger. And so I took that and I interpreted it for the Hyperborean myths. The are you familiar with the Hyperborean myths?
Yeah, the ones about Atlantis and
Yeah.
Aaron and H. Yeah, I'm somewhat
Yeah.
familiar, passingly
Yeah.
familiar. I'm not expert on it. I've heard it.
Yeah.
I've read a little bit from Varg about it, you know, on his old
Yeah.
website and stuff. So,
I
yeah,
just I feel like that's another underrepresented possible part of history is, you know, from the Greek mythology, the Hyperboreans were supposedly this race of tall, light-skinned giants from the north. And it's just something, again, it's just these wonderful topics that mean so much to me. And it's like I don't see that in a lot of music right now. So that's another thing that comes straight from my heart. And I hope when people read the lyrics to my record and they're seeing these weird topics that I'm singing about and something might speak to them, I hope they do, you know, take the time to research it and see why I would include that and kind of how it fits into that puzzle.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty cool because, like I say, that's one of those things that I do like some of those myths and some of that stuff that Varg did early on. You know, someone more where he was exploring some of that the Hyborian myths and Atlantis and stuff like that. Plus, I gotta plug one of my favorite Facebook pages. Something Mythro Comics, something I don't know. It's some big goon He-Man shit with
Mhm.
weightlifting because you said you like to run, and I'm all like, okay, well I like hitting the weights and smashing the weights, so that's my thing. But I liked it because they have something similar when you're talking about a whole lot of that aesthetics from like it looks like they're taking stuff from like Conan the Barbarian and stuff like that,
Yeah.
mixing that Highbornian thing in there. and that's pretty cool. I really enjoy that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
I think I love if we could promote a little more of that and a lot less of the whole worrying about what everybody else is doing and trying to focus more on doing productive stuff for
Absolutely.
ourselves, and building our own tribes and things of that nature. I think would be great.
Right. So it,
And sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, no,
I could
go, guys.
I could talk
I'm,
about Hyperborea forever. It's a lot of a lot of the stuff that you'll see from kt8. I have a very deep fascination with ancient history, and so when I had the opportunity to write something about Hyperborea, that song is basically about feeling like this very deep calling from this lost civilization. You don't feel like you fit in with the worldview. You don't feel like the things that the media is pushing to you, it does not, can't relate, it does not go in. And so one of the sayings that I included on that Hyperborean Hunger song is revolt against the modern world. And I know that that has become, almost like a battle cry for the movement now, but it's so important. Like, really take to heart the words revolt against the modern world and look into that. And that's something I hope that when people hear, me chanting revolt against the modern world, I hope it speaks to people that they can say that, modern society, you don't have to accept it. You really don't. You can live on your own terms.
yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. That's one of those things that I think more people should do it. I think people should be less fearful of things that I don't know. Modern society tries to make men weak and pathetic and make women more manly and act like men, and it's just ridiculous. It's a reverse order of the way things should be.
No,
So it's
yeah.
always refreshing to talk to someone that's, that, especially with the female variety that talks and always like, hey, this is good shit. This is the way shit should be. Not, I should be out here having a career and sleeping with hundreds of guys and all this other dumb shit that they try pushing on women these days.
Yes, and that's, a fine line that I do walk, being in this scene, is that, um and maybe this is tooting my own horn, it probably is, but I love doing that. So here in North Carolina, my reputation does
Go
precede me. I have been with my husband for over 10 years, and we have a beautiful life together, and we have chosen that. We have chosen to dedicate ourselves because we're both dedicated to that cause. We both, when we got together, saw a nuclear family. We saw a mom and a dad and kids running around, and, that type of role. And, society is putting pressures on people, and honestly saying it's okay to give up. It's okay to tear apart your family if you feel like he's on his phone too much. You need to just break up with him and take your kids away and take him to court.
right.
Trash him, fucking trash him. It's like, I don't want that for my children. I don't understand that type of worldview, and I've rejected it. I've completely rejected it. And a lot of people have told me, "Oh man, I just can't. Do you have any marriage advice for me? Like, how do you stay together?" I'm like, they're like, your relationship is perfect. And I'm like, it's not. No one's relationship is perfect. And I think that that is something that modern society, it really, they almost make it seem like if it's not perfect, then it's not for you. And I really hope that people can, by me chanting revolt against the modern world, they're gonna go Google it. They're gonna go look at this stuff. They're gonna see that the nuclear family is still alive if you choose to live it, you know? And it's okay if it doesn't work out. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. I get that stuff like that happens, but I truly believe in that beautiful traditional family. That to me is everything. It's my compass in life, and I'm gonna do everything I can to spread that to girls and say, you know what, you don't have to be, the media is gonna, every day when I log on YouTube, I'm getting all these fucking music videos that say that it's cool. Just kiss a girl. Like, honestly, just be a fucking lesbian. Like, why the fuck you even put up with men? There's such, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't get that. I
Yeah.
don't get that. So the fact that I had the chance to in any way tell other girls out there, don't look, the modern world, if it's not for you, it doesn't have to be for you. You can dedicate yourself to these beautiful traditional ways. And I am so happy that this record has finally come, and I'm not just doing Screwdriver covers anymore, and I've actually been able to have this outlet to be able to tell people that, because I remember being a young girl and saying, "I'm not identifying with what I'm seeing as I'm growing up. I have this vision in my heart, and I don't know where to go. I wanna surround myself with like-minded people like that, and we're out here, we're on the internet for you ladies. We're excited that you have that world view as well, and you have every right to live it, and the fact again, it's all the media and all of this sort of, shit that they're just jamming down people's throats, that men are bad and that men are I don't get it. I'm going off on a tangent, but I
Oh,
don't
that's
understand.
good. That's actually what I kind of wanted to. I mean, it's nice to have a different view because mostly I get, my bros, and that's how it's on here, and it's nice to have a woman to be able to talk about some of this stuff, and be able
It
to hear
is
about
I
it.
mean, don't get me wrong, it's difficult. Life is hard. Life is hard. I have my moments. Men are gonna have their moments, but guess what? If you want that vision and you want that tribe, you need to work at it. And so I don't know. It's so hard in today's society when you're encouraged to just give up and walk away and go live your independent woman life, and like I said, fucking trash him, go on social media, post all this shit about him, fucking trash him to everyone, and I don't understand that. I don't know if I come from a traditionalist worldview. I honestly have deleted all my social media. I'm fucking over that shit. It's all fake. Everything you see on social media is somebody's fake life that they want you to see. I'm fucking
Yeah,
over it. And I don't accept this. And so KD8, if at the very core of it, it really is a promotion of traditional values. It just is. That's just who I am. I truly believe in family, and I truly believe in my culture, my heritage, and just the amazing achievements that are bashed every day in the media by about white people. And I'm fucking sick of hearing about it. I'm fucking sick of seeing it everywhere. I'm fucking sick to death that my children are gonna see that shit. And, I'm gonna counter it. This record is the first step in it, and so it every little bit counts, everything. Anything anybody can do counts because we're countering it. We've got to counter this.
yeah. Well, I mean, you got to keep fighting back, and it's
Yep.
if you're doing something that's better than doing anything. I mean, I would suggest, that you try to do as much as you can to not just sit on the internet to improve yourself as well too. Not
Yeah.
just go to the gym, go to a MMA place, MMA gym or
Yeah, dude, physical
boxing gym.
activity is
Yeah.
so important as well, and sort of this, like, bullshit on social media, like the models that are all plus size and accepting person, like, I don't fucking get it. Like, delete all your social media, go outside, put your fucking running shoes on, and run down the motherfucking street right now, because it's insane how they want you to be sitting there and feeding all this information into your brain. That's what they want. They want you to sit there, and I don't understand it, and so it's like, get outside, revolt against the modern world. That was one of my favorite things that I was able to put on this record, because I'm seeing it everywhere across a lot of different organizations. A lot of other bands are putting this out. It's an awesome battle cry, and I really, really want people to look at that phrase and take it to heart because it's legitimate.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the modern society, this modern world is a pretty sickening place. And
It
like you said, for our children and their grandchildren, it's going to be much worse if we ain't starting to get some things rolling and get people to get their head out of their ass and see what's coming around the corner. But
Yeah.
honestly, for me, it feels like the way the things rolling, the way the left's doing stuff. When I had this conversation with John Mark, I think we're probably both in agreement on that the idea that something is coming. It's coming. That there's going to be something that's going to kick off. There's going to be some kind of conflict, some massive civil unrest that's going to end up. totally tearing this country into some Yugoslavia type situation where it's going to be ethnic
Yeah,
conflict, right versus left, different racial and ethnic groups fighting each other here and there. And I mean,
it
that's
could
what
happen.
I'm thinking. Yeah, it could definitely happen.
Absolutely
It's
happen.
happened. It's happened in every country that's
Yeah.
tried to do this multicultural garbage. So, you
History
know,
is filled with it, but you know what? Just live in your own little microcosm where you reject that and fill your world with the things that you want to see and work towards that life that you want. Um, so kind of I'm gonna go off on a tangent here, but one of the songs on my record, the very first song is called Ravens and Ruins. And that's a very special song to me. It's actually the very, very first song I wrote for this record. And so I was struggling. I had like a hook and I was like, I'm going to make this song. Like, I'm so excited. This is the first song on my record. Oh my God. And so I did an interview with a organization here in California that's awesome and actually does stuff and is just, I love them. It's called the Nationalist Women's Front. And they sent me a list of questions and one of them like just totally took the cork out of my brains and all these like thoughts started filling out and they said you know, do you have any advice for any young women who might be called towards this way of life or you know this path? And so I wrote Ravens and Ruins, and what it basically is about is like you're going through life and you again feel this calling from this society or this order, this way of life that doesn't is not reflected in the media, and you're constantly being told that you're wrong or you're a bad person and you're wrong, you need to be reprogrammed, you need to feel bad about yourself, and it's just that constant feeling of being pulled in another direction. And so I wrote Ravens and Ruins as like it's true, no, like even if I tried to fight it and one day I woke up and I was like I'm gonna take their advice and I'm gonna really try, there's so much around me and deep in my heart that is calling me towards this other path. And so it's okay to embrace that. And it's okay to say, you know what, that just isn't me. And so that song is very also another very important song to me and that sort of feeling that I wanted to convey to people that, you know what, if you do feel that calling, that's a legitimate thing. And don't ever let anyone tell you that you're wrong. You're not wrong.
yeah, yeah,
So that,
no, I
yeah.
agree. I mean, I'd say that's some good advice for the young people out there that are around your age that are able to, to
Mhm.
make sure that. I mean, I understand I guess the way I felt kind of as a kid. I just thought something wasn't quite right, and I knew that I needed to do something,
Yeah.
and I needed to change, and I just didn't really know what it was until I started really reading into National Socialism and stuff, reading about the Third Reich and everything else, and I kind of was like, oh, this seems right to me. This
Yeah.
seems like what we was missing, and it helped obviously that I got to go from living in a little itty bitty small town in rural Illinois, this tiny town with like 600 people, and there was nothing but my own people around me. So that entire time I was there, everything felt great. And then I moved to the city, and that's when I noticed that things weren't right. That's the TV.
Yeah.
This TV had given me this version of reality that wasn't there, which is what they're still trying to do. But now with
Yeah.
other things like social media and the music and stuff, has been able to break through a lot of that conditioning. I mean, for me, the music, and it sounds like for you, the music was what first really got you into the whole pro white scene, was being able to listen to that music and be like connect with the songs and the
Yeah.
musicians and that level, and like, yeah, that really speaks to me and it speaks to my soul. So I
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from. You want to reach out there, and you're hoping that these young men and women out there that listen to your stuff be like, yeah, that really speaks to me. I want to go out there and do something like that. I want to make some difference for my race and my people.
Yeah, exactly. So when I was writing also, I did get advice from people and they were like, "Dude, just do anthems. Just do like put your boots on and go punch people." And I'm like, you know, that's cool drinking music and I'm into that and I listen to music like that, but I just feel like I wanted to give something deeper. And it took me and Roy a long time to write this record. And it took a lot of thinking and it took a lot of like almost, I'm not gonna say convincing him, but it was like, "Check it out, we need to make something from the heart," and he was like, "I'm totally into it. It's gonna take a while." And I would take, like, a week with these hooks that I would find, and I would think, "What do I want to tell these people?" Like, legitimately. And I do love anthem music. I love drinking songs and that sort of thing. This record is not that. It's not
Yeah.
that. kt8's never gonna be that. I want it to be deep. If I was gonna do this, I was gonna dedicate the time, because it was a heavy lift. It was a heavy lift. It's hard to juggle everything in your life and then decide you're writing a record, It's like I had to pull the time out of thin air, and when I started writing from my heart and not feeling that pressure, the time just materialized. The universe just clicked for me, and it really came spilling out. And so there's a song on this record, um, called Hellcats. And this is a song that I wrote that I'm really excited for ladies to hear, because I've not heard, they're probably out there and I just haven't heard it, but this song is specifically from me to all of the birds around the world who are, into our scene. And so what it kind of says is we stand together. It's, no infighting. I don't want to, I'm not your competition. I'm not nothing like that. It's, we're going to stand together in this, and I'm loyal to you. And I was so excited to write something like that, to actually, and it's a rocking song. Like, you're going to hear it and your face is going to fall off. It's amazing. And so the fact that I got to write something to bring together all the women, and as a love letter to my own group of friends here in Orange County, that I work so hard, to really lift them up. And I want our scene, I want that for our scene. I want us, I don't want to go to a show and feel like I can't go up to any of those women and talk to them. I mean, we're on the same side. If I can't go to a show and I can't, like, just have a conversation with you, or I feel any sort of tension, like, we should feel safe there. And so I'm really excited to have written that song, to be releasing it, so that we can all say, "You know what? You're right. We do stand together like birds of a feather. We're standing together, like, we're loyal to each other." And that needs to be something that needs to be said amongst all of us. So I'm really excited for that song to come out and for all the ladies to hear that, because I mean it from my heart.
Yeah. No, that's actually pretty cool. Like you
Yeah.
say, it's definitely a lot different out there. I'd say in California than out here in the Midwest. I don't know if you could, find 5 or 6 gals. Yeah, well, I shouldn't say that. When we have big shows, like when
You don't
Northfest
have
happened, you'd see some. But it's like looking for that rare, elusive bird there. Like, where's it at? Oh, where's she at? Oh, holy crap! Hey, there's Brad. Like,
what?
one,
Then that's even
I've
cooler,
never.
because they're gonna see this. They're gonna be on YouTube. They're gonna, someone is, I'm sure, going to upload this to YouTube, and those women who are feeling like, "Oh my god, this is all like fucking crazy music. I mean, I like it, but I could never even think of going to a show. Oh my god, they're probably crazy, blah 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 blah." Then they hear that, and it's like, it's so encouraging to have that sort of sentiment and say, we are out there. The media is going to portray us as, any women in this scene as someone, number one, which I've actually heard, is that we're controlled by our husbands, and
Yeah.
that we only think the thoughts that we think because our husbands are making us, which I am not touching politics with a 45 million foot pole. But in the recent election, they said the only reason that he won was because women were convinced to vote for him by their husbands. And I know that, I've seen news stories where it's like, she just, she is like Down syndrome and her husband is coaxing her to talk. It's not true. That's how they want to portray us, and that shit is not true. And women out there who are feeling, that they am not, again, I go back to that nuclear family and that beautiful traditionalist value, and they are attracted to white dudes. It's like, you're going to get discouraged from that. You're going to be told that that is not acceptable, or that there's something wrong with you, that you wouldn't just look at that person's personality and this and that. And it's like, guess what? They're going to make you feel like you're the only person on this planet. You are not. we are here. We're awesome. Like, we're totally fun to hang out with too. So I hope that any girl that does hear that song and might be, reluctant in any way to engage in the scene or engage in any sort of social type thing like that, like, it's not that bad. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited for women to hear this and kind of have that. There's already a sisterhood. There's no doubting that, but
Well, that's
y-
good to hear, because I mean that's the one thing that kind of irks me a lot about the whole. I don't know. I guess I'd kind of call them the new kids, the all righters, I guess, whatever. That they was a section of them that get into that MGTOW spurginess, just rag on chicks all the time. And it's just obnoxious and annoying. And it's like, dude, shut the hell up. Like,
dude,
fucking, everybody has flaws. Fuck off. Just let's fucking, we need our women and we need them here with
absolutely.
us, supporting us and being our support when we're out there doing
Yeah,
stuff. They need to be at home, helping us out, take care of the kids if we're out and fighting in the any some kind of battle. I mean, what do they think is going to happen? If war kicks off, then they're just going to have guys back in the trench cooking up the foods and doing all the support work. It's like there's a lot of contributions that women have been able to do and can do as well. Like I had a friend of mine, he used to run a record company, and his wife did the vast majority of answering letters and correspondence and send out the CDs and fill the orders and stuff like that. So it's like we all have our part. You know what I mean? Everybody can play a role in doing certain things, and I'd like to, say I'd like to encourage more women to come into the scene, more women to come into the cosmos.
absolutely.
The more we got, the more women are there. They can hang out with each other, and they can get more women to come in. And so that way, when we actually have some shows and people are out there looking and they're trying to meet the new people, they can meet friends, and they might meet their girlfriend, or if it's a girl, that she might meet. Well, if it's a girl, she probably will find a guy, no problem. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, because like I said,
Yeah,
right now we probably still outnumber the women at least 10-1 in this scene, and I
of
like to see that
course.
starting to change. So that would be nice to
Gotta
see
be,
that.
and I think a flip side to that is reminding men that not all women are as the media portray them. Loyalty is still alive. It is. I know that it feels every single day like loyalty does not exist in this world and that women just, we're being conditioned to do things that deviate from our traditional roles, but that, there are still like, don't get discouraged. There are good girls out there who understand loyalty and who do want that life. And so it can feel, I'm sure, for people out there who want to have that family and live that life. I'm sure it can be discouraging at times, but you know what? We're out there. We're out there and it's still alive. And I hope that, any girls out there who are uncomfortable or, they're like listening to this stuff and they're like, I could never go to that show. I could never do that. I could never reach out to them. But, I hope that they see that, we have beautiful lives and we're part of this and it's beautiful. I love it. I can't even express how happy I am that I get to release this record to a bunch of people who are awesome.
Yeah, well, I agree. That's 100. I agree with that, and I wanted to add up on that too. Is so like there is certain personalities I'll leave unnamed that have definitely pushed this whole divide with men against women type shit. So for the
Yeah,
chicks out there, obviously those people don't actually show up to shows. Those guys that are yelling white Sharia and shit like that, you're never going to actually see them at a concert, because if they did some dumb shit like that and were disrespectful towards women at a fucking show, they're going to get their head stomped in by the skinheads that are there, because they're not going to put up with that shit. They're going to get fucking shit kicked out, and they start talking to women like they're some kind of like Negroes or something, and say, you get what I'm saying, right? So I mean, this because you're out there in California, and I'm sure you've seen some guys that have gotten a little mouthy or handsy or something and got the shit kicked out and have teeth missing type thing. You know what I'm saying? So, well, I guess I will forget. I don't want to put you in that situation, but you know what I mean. This
no comment.
that kind of behavior is not
Yeah,
acceptable in real life. In the real world, you're not going to see that. So any women that are out there listening that want to go to a show,
yeah,
want to go to something like that, you don't have to worry. There's not going to be some fucking angling types out there fucking screeching about Asian women are better than white women or something, because those kind of dudes never show up
Well,
to an actual concert. Otherwise, they get
do
their heads
people
kicked.
talk like that on the internet?
Oh yeah, that's
What
that's
the
a
fuck?
that's
Oh my
it's
fucking
bad.
God. I've never heard
I
that. That is fucking
uh
great.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty bad. I've seen it a lot in some of these chat rooms, like I said, amongst the newer kids that get into this
That is
garbage with this
fucking weird.
MGTOW crap.
I
Yeah.
have never experienced
That's,
that. I get a lot of questions again in interviews and in at live shows. What's it like to be in a band as a woman, or be, in this scene as a woman, or anything like that? And I have never been treated with anything but the utmost respect. I honestly have. Now I'm gonna proceed, I'm gonna say though that you're gonna get back the respect that you put in. So there's no fuckery that goes on with me. I don't fucking do drugs. I don't fucking cheat on my husband. You're not gonna find me on social media commenting on other dudes' posts, fucking with my selfie every 5 minutes, this sort of shit. And so when you get back what you put in. And so there needs to be a level of conduct that goes on as well. If you want to be respected and you want to be taken seriously and you want this life, act like it. Act like it.
yeah.
Act like that type of person that people want to respect. And so that's kind of another reason why I wanted to make kt8 complex and intelligent, because I want to encourage women to embrace that side. You do not have to be meek. You can talk about weird shit that you're into. Like, I'm into occult stuff. I'm super into it. I'm super into ancient history. I love it. I live and breathe for it. While other girls are watching fucking makeup tutorials, I'm watching shit about, Hyperborea. Like, that's who I am, and that's okay. And I can have intellectual conversations with people, and I can do these things. And you know what? Every other girl out there can do that too. They do not have to play these roles. They don't have to be fucking dumb. They don't have to fucking just some of the conduct that I have seen. It's like, why? You want to be taken seriously, so act like it. And so that's another reason why. Another thing I hope people get out of kt8 is it's okay for women to enter that arena and kind of have, these conversations, because our scene is not just about getting dressed up. Our scene is not just about yelling, you know, obscenities and getting drunk with your Doc
Oh
Martens
man, damn
and
it!
all that shit. Like, it's
I've been
not.
doing it wrong all these years. Shit.
No, okay, so newsflash, if you're drinking
I'm just
regular,
teasing. I'm just
it's
teasing. I
not.
didn't mean to. I just
No,
had to throw it in. Go ahead.
I totally understand, but there is historical date, factual things that go into this incredible ideology. And I so encourage women out there to explore this stuff. You don't have to just say, I just really like white dudes. Like, I'm just into that. That's my thing. Like, look at the beautiful history of our cultures. There is so much cool stuff that you can learn about. There's stuff that is going to actually make your family history come to life. It's so incredible what you can actually do when you decide that these are the things that you're going to look into. And when you sort of embrace these callings that you have, you don't have to just live this sort of one-dimensional life. You can embrace and you can have conversations with people about these complex topics. And I super, super, super encourage women to get more into these type of complex topics. So
Yeah. No, I mean that is actually a pretty good idea. All joking aside, I mean I was teasing you because I I was funny.
I get drunk with my Doc Martens
There's
on.
Yeah, there's that definitely that type I'm sure that are out there too. But I mean, to be fair to the women out there that are just like I just like white dudes, and that's great too. But yeah, that's definitely great, and I encourage you to definitely stick around and hang out and find you a man and start having family and do that. But you are right about being able to be knowledgeable because you want to
Definitely.
be able to teach your kids. So like
Absolutely.
if you can't be like homeschooling them, which I'm not exactly sure how I feel about homeschooling, just because
Yeah.
you kind of think you should have your kids socialize and interact with other children their age because it's going to help
Yeah.
them. Though if you isolate them and homeschool them too much, they might seem a little strange and kind of freak other people out when they're starting to do social interaction with people.
Fucking
So
weirdos. No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding. I
But
don't comment on whatever anyone else does with their kids, but exactly what you said. If you are in this for a one-dimensional thing and, that's cool. If you're into white dudes, awesome. Welcome. Me too, bro. But you know what? If you are serious about this and this is the life you want to lead, you like really immerse yourself in it. Think of that hour that you're sitting there liking someone's post from 2014 and think of what you could be learning to teach your children. Instead of sitting on Instagram and trolling your boyfriend's ex-girlfriend from 2 years ago, why don't you go to Google, type in Maria Orsic and learn something? It's like I so encourage people. And I know that that's not everyone's cup of tea. I totally understand. It's just I see the way that things go, and I truly wish that there was more dialogue between women about historical things. I really, 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 really do. I wish that we could do more to help. I wish that we were able to. I wish I had like a whole army of people with like books and they're like, "Katie, let's talk about this week." Or it's just like
yeah.
I want there to be an intelligent undercurrent to this that eventually emerges. I think that that would just be so cool. And there are women out there. I get to talk to people all the time, which is one of the things I'm very excited about this record coming out and being like, receiving DMs from people that are like, "I'm so into Maria Orsic. I found your record just because of this. This is so cool." Like, I cannot wait for that. And when you put those vibes out in the world, they're going to come back to you. So if you have an interest in anything, like go for it and you will find people who are like you. And that's what life is about. So I highly encourage people to do that.
All right. Well, since you were talking about Maria, I was going to say there was
Yeah.
another quite used to be. I mean, I wouldn't say he was quite as well known, or maybe not. To be honest, I
Yeah.
hadn't heard of her before you had mentioned it. There was Kathy Ainsworth, who was in the Klan back in I believe it was the '60s. That
Mhm.
she was out there fighting back against the rats and the
Yeah.
so-called integrationists, and she got killed by the FBI with FBI informants. Eric Owens wrote a song about it. I'm
Wow.
trying to remember. I just had that song on my show a couple of weeks ago.
That's
Um,
fucking
Running
awesome.
Free. That's it. Yeah, Running Free. Yeah, check her out, Kathy Ainsworth. Go to
Mhm.
Metapedia to look her up because
Yeah, do that.
Wikipedia tries spreading lies about her, so Metapedia is the better way to go.
If you're
I
still
think it's
reviewing Wikipedia in 2019, you're gonna
right.
that is not let me just public disclaimer, do not go on Wikipedia. That shit is edited by other people. Like, I'm surprised at how many people that I do talk to that don't realize that it's literally the public that puts information on that website.
Yeah. Well, no, that's
Really
true.
quick.
But like I'm saying, we got our own, I guess, kind of version of it called Metapedia, which is a pro-white Wikipedia type of a site where it's they'll have links and sometimes you can find good information, but you'll obviously people are biased about shit, so they'll try to cut out information or they
Oh, yeah.
might twist it up and just make lies about it. So I mean, it's Wikipedia is ran by some Jews, so you know what to expect there. I mean, if I got to explain to you more than that, then I'm just going to tell you start watching some Kevin McDonald videos, and Professor McDonald will explain the whole Jewish question to you in
But
about
it's
three or four lectures.
honestly,
Good.
it's just another symptom of the fact that you are getting fed so much information that is biased that you don't even know about. They promote this website as being like a fucking online encyclopedia. It's called Wikipedia. Guess what? It's not fucking credible. And when people learn that they need to even take those type of sites with a grain of salt, it's going to change the world because people are going to be like, "I read on Wikipedia that she had lasers that shot out of her eyes. That's crazy. I need to look into this." Dude, it's a peer edited website, and it blows my mind that people don't know that. And so again, check what's being fed to you. The media, these internet websites, like it just all goes into that same sort of tangled web of them just killing these incredible traditions, these incredible thought patterns that we have with lies.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that they they definitely like to confuse and obfuscate. God, I'm not even saying this word right, so I'm just gonna say they like to confuse people and try getting them to think that whatever bullshit they're publishing is the truth. I mean, that was the one nice thing that I will say that Trump was able to do over the 2016 up into the current day is really help people realize that they shouldn't be trusting the media, that there's been less trust in these media organizations. So that helps a lot, and
He's
because breaking that stranglehold from that Jewish entertainment complex media that they have, that's going to really help open up more eyes and get people seeing the truth and what's actually going on and what's
Yeah,
happening.
and news is not news. News is unregulated. It's like they're gonna say that, they put that term news on it, but like, look at it from a critical eye. Look at everything that you're all of this information that you're being fed, look at it with a critical eye. I am blown away by the amount of people that will come to me with a news story that it takes me 2 minutes, like, 2 minutes is a long time, honestly. It takes me 1 minute to put it in Google and see that that is not accurate at all,
Yeah,
and
well, I mean, Google will give you something like Huffington Post or
yeah,
Mike or some other far left so-called news rag, and I'm supposed to take it seriously. Like,
no,
oh, okay,
exactly. It's ridiculous, and it's so scary because, again, the scene, it's like our cause, all of this sort of stuff it's getting demonized because of these type of, behaviors by people in the media, and it's really, really unfortunate.
yeah, no, I agree. It is. It's one of those things that, like I said, I think it's getting less and less. I think their hold's getting much less than what it was, and I believe somebody like Dr. Pierce would probably be quite ecstatic at how much we've been able to break through on these YouTube and
Mhm.
podcasting and all this other stuff that's come around now. So it's
Yeah,
it does happen. I mean, some of the top people on this YouTube stuff have actually came out and was being pro-white and stuff. So it's good.
yeah,
You got some kid Chucky E something. I don't know. He was just some redneck farmer type, and he's ridden Taryn's great replacement on video, and he comes out being pro-white. And I mean, he was one of these guys that really shocked me. And it was like that guy doesn't even look like somebody that would be into that. But I mean, you can never tell. I mean, because he's still a white man, and he's still going to be able to think for himself and be able to read and
yeah,
follow that rabbit hole. Go down that rabbit hole and get all them red pills, like the kids like to say. It's you just reading these red pills and waking up and becoming aware of what's happening around you. It's like you're in that They Live movie. I don't know if you ever seen that. It's pretty old, I guess, but there's been a couple memes I've seen running around where it's like the guy puts on the glasses and all around him is just like obey and all this other stuff. So it was like, yeah, that seems about like what they're trying to do, but they're being less and less subtle about it and more open in their disdain and hatred of our people and our kind. When you see
yeah,
stuff like what happened with the Democratic presidential debates, they were just going railing on and on about white privilege and let's bring in all these Mexicans and let's have no fucking border. We won't arrest anyone and everybody will get free health care and we won't send anyone back across the wall. I mean, obviously that's going to encourage all these non-whites that are flooding in from the south of the border to keep coming in even larger numbers.
yeah. No, it's totally true, and, it's just another one of my drives to get this record out and do what I can is just anything that we can do. If you feel this calling in your heart, just even like I get exposed to so much cool stuff through this band. There's fanzines in Europe that have interviewed me, and I went and I looked into this stuff. I mean, there are like hand drawing magazines in Europe for distribution with our ideas in them. That is so cool. And the different things that I'm exposed to that this beautiful web of people are doing to not let these ideas get suppressed. It's so cool. And that just it has to continue. It absolutely does. And it's the coolest thing.
Well,
I
that's
don't
pretty
yeah.
cool. Fan signs. I haven't seen those in forever. Fan signs. That's something
Dude,
I haven't
you
seen in such a long time. You know, it was years and years. I think the last time I remember talking to anybody about one was this kid. I can't remember the name of his newspaper, but
I was
one of
just
my buddies.
yeah, I was just in one in Poland called the Antisocial Zine. And, they are just doing it out there. I mean, it's crazy. They hand draw they hand draw pictures. They do all of these interviews, and they put them out, like, a couple times a year, and they have to print them themselves. They have to try to get them, to the different countries in Europe, and most of them are totally banned, so they have all these regulations, and yet nothing stops them. They're totally into it, and it's so cool. They found me over in America. They wanted to do, an interview or whatever. I ended up getting a 3-page spread over there in Polish, but it was so cool to see the whole thing. It's just like pure love that they're putting into this, and it's like passion. It's that passion that they're taking time out of their day. They don't make money off that. If anything, they're paying for it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's a passion project that means so much to them, and they're writing about some girl in Orange County who's might put a record out. But guess what? It's so cool because it is still one little step towards telling people you're not alone and your views are not wrong. And it's so cool. It is the coolest thing.
yeah. Well, that's definitely it. That's the thing, and it's one of the reasons why I think people still do this stuff is to try to connect other people with the community around them, and people that are we're spread out here in the United States. There's a few places like out there in California where we're more concentrated, but
Yeah.
once you start getting further out, it's further out into the country, the more and more spread out it is between you and everyone else. So
Yeah.
it is one of those things, but it reminds me. It kind of harkens back to. I was thinking about what you were saying about the doing the thing with the book readings and stuff like that, and being able to have intellectual conversations with other females.
Yeah.
Um, I was going to say, I know I got some friends that are into a lot of the ostrich stuff out there in California, and I know there's a lot of people out there, and a lot of the women folks seem to really be into the folkish stuff and be really well read on that. So I
Oh,
don't
for
know, maybe
sure. All of
yeah,
that sort of folkish stuff. I know that there's a lot of acid true people out here. I myself definitely have been, Wiccan for a good portion of my life, and I believe in all of that stuff. And it is so cool to see all the different facets. Again, if you're into that stuff, if you're into paganism, if you're into all of these incredible things, I mean, there are places in this scene for you, and it's all pro-white. And so that's the coolest thing, again, is that I'm exposed to all of this stuff because I'm in Orange County and I grew up here. And so it's like, oh, you like Norse mythology? Guess what? We have literal like groups of people that meet, that we go to the forest and we do all this cool stuff, and we talk about, the gods and goddesses, and we that's what we do. And it blew my mind that that is still alive. And so it's like, if you're into something, guess what, there's probably a part of this scene that there's other people who feel the same way you do, and they're into it too. So it's just really cool. And I just want to put it out there. I do have conversations with females about um historical things. There are people who are into that. I just want to make sure that like, if women feel like I would like to know about that stuff, like, do it. Go have a conversation. Like, one day when you're on the couch with your husband, be like, do you know anything about the rise of the Third Reich? Like, or what, you know anything about that? Like, just talk to him about it, and you'll be surprised at the different things that you'll learn about people around you, and the knowledge you'll grow. Like, you'll attract that type of information. So it's a
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, that's pretty good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was just agreeing. Like, yeah, yeah, I hear you.
dude. It's
That's
like slow clap. Come on. It's like you can totally. it is feminine to be versed in these traditions and in these historical just I absolutely eat up information. I'm always reading a book. I'm always doing these different things, and I encourage more women to do that. I know that, that might be suppressed, and you should be cleaning your house, you should be vacuuming, you should be doing the dishes, you should be, what, your kids' rooms have clothes all over them. But it's like, what, if you feel that calling, go pick up a book on Norse mythology and study it. Don't just wear your Thor's hammer because you think it's cute and it's got rhinestones on it. Like, let's learn about it, girl. And so I want that for everyone. I really do.
I was just gonna say you can still do all that stuff and still have time to read. I mean, I don't know, like I remember my ex-wife, she'd have the house done, cleaned, and dinner ready and all that stuff, and she'd be like having hours of the day where she's just bored. I'd come home from work and she'd be like, "I was so bored. There's nothing to do. I already cleaned the house like 3 times a day." I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Read, I guess.
I wish.
This is before the internet and social media, obviously, or she could have done that. So
I just want I just hope that, the women that do hear my record, they're like, "What is Hyperborea? What is Maria Orsic? Why is she singing about ravens? What is this?" Like, I truly am speaking to people through this music and saying, "Hey, this is something I'm interested in. I'm into the same things as you. Like, why don't you Google it? You might think it's cool too."
yeah, no, I agree. And I hope, like I said, I encourage everyone that's listening to explore all these topics and look into all this stuff. If you
Yeah.
want If you want to, I definitely would. I'm going to look in more into this Mary Horsick woman, so the next time I talk to you, I can
Yeah.
have a little more information on her. I've been kind of
Yeah.
a crappy host because I haven't had as much time to
Hey,
do the research as I could because I'm going to make excuses now. So
I
I
can
was
talk about
busy, and so that's that. There you go. Okay, so sorry. Go
That's
ahead.
one of the things is when I started writing that song about Maria Orsic, I was like, this is a very niche audience. Like, let's just be honest here. And I was, talking with Roy, and I was like, is this a topic that I want to cover? And he was like, if you are passionate about it, and if this is something that is speaking to you, go for it, dude. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it speaks to a small group of people, those are the people that you want to speak to. Like, don't worry about it. And so when I really started writing that song and when I actually heard it played back to me, I was like, this is so cool. So Maria Orsic, to give everyone a little bit of a background on her and just encourage people to look more into her message, she was the personal medium to most of the high-ranking members of the Third Reich. And it's something that a lot of people don't like to talk about. It's suppressed history. But there is a lot of talk that she was responsible for very advanced weaponry and very advanced things that were observed. Obviously, a lot of the records got destroyed, all these different things. But they there are rumors that she was channeling these I'm gonna sound like a crazy person because y'all need to like research this, but she was channeling Aryan races in different parts of the universe, in other solar systems, blah 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 blah. I know I sound crazy. I know. Google it. So
Yeah,
but she was channeling these people and they were sending her messages and they were saying, "Hey, hey Maria," no, I'm joking. They were sending her messages and she would sit at this desk and she would draw out these incredible plans, these technical plans that were very advanced. And they would actually take them, and a lot of technology was based on these energy sources, these plans, all these different things. And I'm not going to get much more into it because it gets even weirder. It gets so weird. But there was
yeah.
the Twilight Society, which was also another occult society in the Third Reich that was also calling the shots. I mean, there's a lot of occult history that people don't really talk about. But so why I wrote that song about Maria Orsic is the craziest thing about her is no one knows what happened to her. She basically evaporated. They don't know where she went at the end of the war. There's also a lot of talk that she never existed, that this was some sort of composite person that just sort of got made up throughout history. And so what I did was I wrote that song saying, you know what, I'm gonna bring a positive aspect to this story. And what if she actually used that technological, advanced information, and she blasted off and she's off hanging out and she's the queen of, it's called Aldebaran, is the solar system that she was channeling. What if she's out there and she's the fucking queen? Like she's got this celestial Reich. And so it's weird. Like that's fucking weird. I get that that's going to be fucking weird for people, and people are going to be like, "What the fuck is going on in California?" But look at
They're
this.
gonna feel like, what kind of shrooms are you guys taking out there? I
Dude,
guess.
exactly. But guess what? This is real. This shit is so fucking real. Look up the Vril Society. Look up the Tula Society. Look up all of these occult societies that actually preceded the NSDAP. Like this is legitimate shit. And so, you hear about Nazi UFOs. You see werewolf women of the SS. I mean, it's like this shit. You see it, but guess what? Like that is not that fucking far off. Nazi UFOs, that's not that fucking far off. Nazi atomic bombs, that shit is not that fucking far off. So really look into it. That's probably the weirdest thing on this record. And I'm excited. Right when you open the CD, right when you open it, I put her on the tray. So when you open it up, you're going to see Maria Orsic staring back at you. And I wanted that because guess what? There's a lot of shit that has gone on in history that people don't know about. And I super encourage people to look it up. So that's a
Well,
little bit of
I'd say,
Maria Orsic. When you look that shit up on the internet, whew, it is a rabbit hole. Good luck to
yeah,
you.
well, I'd say that, like you were saying, it was something you weren't sure if you should put on there. I'd say, yeah, it probably is because it's not a subject that a whole lot of people are talking about. So it gives them something new to some new aspects to explore. You had like
Yeah,
when Eric Owens talked about the Spanish Civil War, there wasn't a whole lot of people out there talking about it. And then after he talked about it, then you had to start having a lot more people on the scene. It was like, oh, holy crap, this was pretty
exactly.
impressive, because, a couple of years later, you had Red, White, and Black do the George Washington Legion, which was the actual fascists and National Socialists that went over to Spain to fight for the, Franco and the fascists over in Spain and stuff. So,
Yeah,
eventually, when you start doing stuff like that and bringing out knowledge that used to be there, other people start taking up on it, start reading it, and it's kind of rediscovered, I guess you could say. So that's pretty
yeah,
cool.
exactly.
So yeah, I'd say definitely do that.
I was a little bit nervous at first. I was like, am I going to do a UFO song? I think I am. And you know what? It's like you gotta, but again, it's authentic. This is who I am. Strangely enough, this is the shit I read about. This is the shit that interests me. And so that's what I'm really excited about kt8 for. And honestly, and Roy doesn't even know this, he's listening right now, but I already have the first song written for the next record. I just am waiting for time to record it. Like this is something that is so deeply ingrained into me now, that being able to share this information and stuff, it is so exciting for me. And expect so much more weird shit to be talked about on these records, because it's stuff that legitimately matters to the scene. It legitimately matters that people are versed, because someday someone's going to be like, you're going to be having an intellectual conversation with them. You're going to be talking about the contributions. They'll be like, well, guess what? Hitler had fucking UFOs. And you're going to be like, excuse me? Are you talking about the Bell? Are you talking about Maria Orsic? Are you talking about, it's like arm yourself, literally arm yourself,
Yeah.
because these things are going to come up. I'm not, and honestly, if you get in a Nazi UFO fight conversation, please DM me because I want to hear everything about it. It's my favorite thing ever.
All right. Well, I'll let you know if I do. I'll let you know. Now, speaking of Southern California, I see Frank's the Silva's channel has been deleted. Is he still out, or did they send him back to prison? Is he still out there, free
I
man, or no?
legitimately have no idea.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if anybody had heard from him in a while. I was going to try to get him on at some point too, but
Someone
I
meant that. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I was just wondering. I didn't know if maybe you knew, since now you guys are all, what I'm saying. Like you guys in Southern California all seem to know each other, or at least know
We do.
somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So
Yeah. No, we really do. It is the coolest. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to share my good energy and my good experiences that I have had in this scene down here. I know that there's a lot of places where it's lonely or you feel alone. I have been so fortunate to be part of this incredible group out here, and they have taught me incredible things in the years that I've been here. They've taught me how to conduct myself. They've taught me, how to live and these sort of things and stay out of trouble and these different things. But I want to share that energy because a lot of people do have negative experiences with the scene. I understand that. I understand what goes on. I've seen it. I know people who have gone through it, but there can be beautiful lives lived through this scene. And I just really hope that someone sees, oh my gosh, that girl is standing up and saying, like, I'm not a piece of shit. Like I'm not ever going to feel like a piece of shit for the way I live, for the way I think, anything like that. I'm just not going to do it. And I really hope that it translates to people that they can do that too. You don't have to apologize. Like, don't apologize for who the fuck you are.
Yeah, you should. And you should definitely, like you're saying, that's just reach out and you'll find some other people. And
Definitely.
that's what you got to. You just can't be afraid to actually reach out and talk and meet other people and stuff. So
Yeah.
if if you reach out, someone's gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" I mean, there will probably be some people might just be assholes because they don't know who you are and they have no clue who you are.
People
But
are fucking assholes. People are gonna
yeah,
be assholes everywhere. But guess what?
well,
Not all of us are assholes.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like if one person you reach out to is a dick, you can always reach out to someone else too and be like, "Hey, so just don't get discouraged." Is all I'm saying. You can always. You'll find someone else that's not going to be a total douchebag, and that's the person you go and talk to, and just
Yeah.
if you got that passion for making music or videos or whatever, try to do that too. So,
Yeah, just keep pushing it forward. I would say the one thing that I learned from recording this record is I kind of live by this saying now, but you get in life what you have the courage to ask for. And it is so true. It's like you take that first step, push yourself, even if you're uncomfortable, push yourself and say, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. The worst they can do is say no. I'm just going to go for it. Guess what? You might say yes and your dreams might come true. Literally, that has happened to me so many times where I'm like, I'm so fucking scared to send this message right now. Like, I'm so fucking scared. I don't even want to text about this. Like, they're going to say no. They're going to say no. And then they say yes. And then amazing things happen. So it's like, really get out of your comfort zone. Stop just like stop limiting yourself. If you have a pull towards anything that could contribute to the movement, like go for it within reason, of course.
yeah. Yeah, I know. I totally agree. I would encourage anyone to do everything they can to sit there and do,
Also get off
to get out there and get out of that comfort zone, like you're saying, and go take some chances and do some stuff and, get, get out there and get out of your house more and go meeting with other people in your area if you can. Then also, once again, I'm going to emphasize get to the gym and get in shape. Don't allow yourself to get to
Yeah.
where you can barely move, and then you're gonna have to get a forklift to get out of your basement or get out of your house. That's not good.
And fucking shit happens, man. Dude, I have a full life. There are times where I just don't want to do it and I don't have time. I don't want to do it, but you know what? Push yourself. Follow your dreams. Do just really push yourself. And when you don't feel like you have anything more to give, like you can stop for a second, but always be thinking about how to move forward next. It's like, it can be so limiting and like I said, it's lonely out there. It's so lonely, especially, after that YouTube purge. Even the other day I was like, dude, remember that song? You know what it was? It was I wanted to listen to Before God. I wanted to listen to Bountiful Life by Before God. And it took me a minute to find that song because so much shit got deleted and it kind of hit me. I was like, oh my God, like I don't have this shit on CD. They have,
Yeah,
they've kind of taken something away from me. And it's like, okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna put it on my to-do list. I want every Before God album ever. in my reach so that I can always listen to them. And it's like, just don't hit a wall. Don't
Yeah.
do it. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's true. And it is, like you're saying, YouTube has been taking it off. So here's one thing for everyone out there listening: like YouTube's going to probably continue to taking off videos like that. So maybe go to a record. What's the name of the record company that's putting out your CD? It's Hatecore, or is it Hate Crime Street Records?
Streetwear.
Streetwear.
HC
Okay.
Streetwear. Yeah.
Okay. So the HC Streetwear has your CD. They have other CDs besides yours. I'm pretty sure, right?
No, they're going completely black just to put out my record. No, I'm just joking. They
Oh.
have I'm just kidding. This is the type of shit that goes on in my own brain. No, they have everything. That's why I'm beside myself like that I even get to be released by such a cool record label because I've bought clothes from them before. I've bought, they have effing koozies of my husband's band. So it's like they have everything. I super encourage people to go to that website, go check out what they have because when you're going through stuff, just go through the t-shirts and be like, damn, that's a cool design. I'm going to go listen to that band. It's like even something as stupid as that, you're just perusing the new stuff on Hate Crime and you're like, all right, that looks cool. Buy
All
it.
right.
Go
Well,
check it out.
I'm gonna put it in the edit this video so I can put it in the description so that way they can find all
Definitely.
your gear and they can support the record label that's putting
Haven't
out your stuff.
I haven't put out a shirt yet. I'm working on that. That is coming because I actually so with kt8, I design everything myself. Every button that you ever see from people, any sticker, that all just that's from my heart. Like so I'm designing t-shirts right now. I want to do one for women and one for men. It'll be on Hate Crime. And side note, my record comes out August 17th. So that is
Awesome.
it will be released. It'll be on that website.
Hey, yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna put it in here on the description. I'm doing it right now whilst we're speaking. I'm just waiting for my computer to load so I can put it down here, put the link to the website.
A cool side note is that Hate Crime Streetwear is headquartered in Orange County. So once again, greetings from Southern California, beautiful Orange County.
Oh yeah, I thought they used to be in Washington, so they must have moved. That's
Nope,
cool.
they're in Orange County. Which
Ah,
is
cool,
another
cool.
really cool thing about this record. It is written, recorded, produced, everything in Orange County, California. So I'm so excited that you're gonna hear straight from Orange County. I love it. We probably recorded during earthquakes and fires and stuff.
There was some earthquakes and
No,
fires down there. Oh, okay,
yeah, there's always stuff.
there's always something happening there. Is that what you're saying? All right. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. There you go. Let's see if
But
I can go
also
back.
on another side note, look into the date of August 17th if you don't know why I released the record that day.
Okay.
You know
All
that?
right. Do I?
Yeah.
No.
So, well, I'll give it away. So I requested that my record be released on August 17th because that is the day that Rudolf Hess died, quote unquote,
Oh, okay.
in
Yeah.
the Spandau prison in Berlin. And so
Yeah. 1988. Or was it 87?
it was 87. And
Okay.
so I want everyone to take a second out of their day and Google August 17th, 1987, and see the history of that because that is also another really important thing that is thankfully it's not underrepresented. Like we sing about that man so much and it was something I really believed in with my record. I mean, we had it finished a couple months ago and I was like, is there any way we could do August 17th? Like it's just so meaningful to me. I want that to be shown on like Discogs and I want that date to be associated with this record. So go Google that, go look into if you don't know who Rudolph Hess is, like right when you get done watching this video, I want you to go Google that because incredible, absolutely incredible and so important in the story of our people.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember like you said, there's a lot of music that's dedicated to him. It reminds me of
There is.
the Midtown Boot Boys has probably got the best song dedicated to Rudolph Hess, I think, of all time. With
Yeah.
so
And in every
that's
language, like they're all over the world. There's incredible songs in every freaking language to that man, and so well deserved. And so also because I love secret history and whatnot, look into his death and decide how you feel about what happened to him.
yeah, they said
Fucking
they
old, living in a giant prison by himself, and he died on August 17th, 1987. And there are a lot of questions about what happened to him. So I would just say, Google it. Google it, people. Decide for yourself.
yeah, I do remember the something about the British weren't going to release how he actually his autopsy report until shit, I can't remember what year it was, something like 2045 or something like that. Just some insane thing. It was like, really? That's when you're
Yeah,
gonna release the what actual happened on
I
the
think we
autopsy.
want everyone who would care about it to be dead. But
Yeah,
guess what? We still care. So that it's just something, that's another reason. Just look at the dates, and it's very meaningful to me. Everything that I do with this band is very, very meaningful. None of it is just like, oh, I think we'll have the record that day, I'm just gonna put it out. So it's very meaningful. Look up August 17th. I highly encourage people to look into that.
yeah, I agree. That's definitely it. That's now I've found it. I've forgot the damn name of the song because I'm an old man and I'm tired.
That's
But it's
all right.
"Sleep Well" by the Midtown Boot Boys, and that's something I'd encourage everybody to check out too after they get done listening to Katie's new album. Go pick up that Midtown Boot Boys album too. Even though it's some old school crap that I just like. That's the kind of stuff the older folks are into. But I did put the link to the Hate Crime Streetwear or HC Streetwear here
Awesome.
and link in the description so everybody can find where to go to get your stuff. I actually gotta get some stuff from these guys. I
Dude, there's
remember when they used to have another one out of California. What was the name of it? It had Stormtroop 16 CD, and they had a bunch of cool T-shirts,
I
like
think I
white
remember that like forever ago, but I don't remember the name of it.
White Devil was the original name, like White Devil Records, and then they changed it to
Yeah.
like 88 Gear or something. Maybe that was that it, 88 Gear,
Something.
something
Um,
like that. I don't know. It's been a couple years because I remember I ended up getting one of their wife beaters, and I was like, Jesus, this thing's too tight. I was like, this thing is small on me, because it's like one of the underwear, like the Hanes underwear kind. I thought it was like just a bigger one, right? So,
yeah.
anyways,
One of the cool
I
things about hate crime is that I have so much respect for them because they believed in me. And when I first started saying that I wanted to do this, they believed in me. They put, everything behind this and allowed, me to really chase my dream at my own pace. And so I just want to say that when you do business with a company like that, that's a legitimate operation that's going on right there. Like you should feel good about buying from those type of websites. That's all I want to
yeah.
say. Mad respect for them.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna plug them on this one, and there's some other good ones out there like Tightrope
That
too.
was
Those guys.
And that's another aspect of it. It's like, they make t-shirts, they do these things. That's another thing. They are putting out that effort, and it's just so important to find something that you can do to contribute in some positive way to other people who are like-minded to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it helps too. It helps you, and you get something accomplished, and it gives you a sense of
Yeah,
accomplishment at the same time. So you don't feel like you're getting in a rut and you're just stuck and you're not going anywhere with it. So
yeah, exactly.
for yeah. So I mean, for anybody out there, if you can help, you can always be like, hey, can I help you out some way? You do
Yeah.
something. Or I can maybe print out some flyers or stickers, or just hey, can I help you with the website? Can I do this? Can I do that? Some of these channels have YouTube commentators or moderators. You can do stuff like that too. I mean, but you can do all types of things, and basically, I'd say the best thing is to try to wake people up. Get get our people on board with everything, and wake them up. Oh yeah, I remember this. These are the guys that put out the tribute to Marty. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
that was a nice thing of them to do. That was really cool. I
Definitely.
love Marty. Marty was cool as fucking shit, man. I swear. I was
Fuck
talking about him on the other show, and I always used to be on Facebook, and you
yeah.
would see he would just always post these crazy, funny things all the time. Like I just steal so many memes from Marty, man. He had the
I I
best
deleted
stuff.
my Facebook before he passed away, and I was actually thinking about that. I was like, Facebook must be so fucking boring now. Like, what do you people even look at? Like,
Wow.
he was just that's just what he did, and
Oh yeah.
he is an original gangster legend in Orange County, and it just he'll never ever ever be forgotten. Ever, ever, ever. We love him
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, he was a great guy, really good, solid dude, man. He's gonna
Of
be,
course.
he's already missed, and he, like I said, he was so awesome. He reminded me of the way how Sean is. He's got that real good sense of humor, really, really just fun guy to like just hang
Yes.
around with. And I was gonna say, well, since Facebook we've lost him, we still got old Mr. D and Richie Graves over there giving us some funny memes and stuff. So there's a few guys trying to keep the tradition alive.
Fuck yeah, memes forever.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's good
I
stuff.
put out, well, I didn't put out, of course not, but, my very first record I was ever on was, another one through, um, that Hate Crime distributed, or I don't remember the setup on that one, but, that was a tribute to Kill Baby Kill, and,
Okay.
I recorded that was, so you might be able to find that one on YouTube still. I think it got every inclination of that record that I did, like, got deleted off YouTube, but I did a cover of My Name Is Hate, and, they put it out, and that was a really cool experience. That was the very first record, the very first time I ever heard my voice recorded, and when you listen to that song, which I'm sure most of you, that's probably your only exposure to kt8 is that recording, but the coolest thing about that was when you listen to that, that's the very first time I ever actually, like, sang into a microphone and heard it back, because
Yeah.
I'd only done live shows up until that point, and so I really had to, like, change my whole approach. Like, you can't just yell, you can't, like, if you're missing it, it's like you can do it over again, and so that recording is super special to me, not only because Kill Baby Kill is fucking awesome and that song is fucking awesome, but because that particular recording was the first time that I ever sang into a microphone, and so, the and Hate Crime was instrumental in putting that out, and so that's just a really special, recording.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I actually one of the other shows we had, I think it was like a cover show. We did Max Resist's cover of "Kill Baby Kills." I'm still standing, and my
Raw.
producer was talking about we're going to put one of your songs that must be that song you're talking about on
Yes.
one of our upcoming shows. So we'll have you on one of those shows so we can promote you through that too. And if you, like I said, if you want to, you can always send us like a song at some point after the album's released so we
Oh,
can
I
put it
definitely
on there.
will. I definitely will. And then, so a cool thing about that was when we did the Easter tribute in 2017, I actually got to perform "I'm Still Standing" as a duet with Sean, and that was fucking awesome. And again, it just goes back to that saying you get in life what you have the courage to ask for. Because I was playing another show and I had texted a couple people and said, I was listening to My Name Is Hate, and I don't know, could you guys learn that in like 3 days so we could maybe do it? Like, I know I'm asking a lot, but I was listening to it, and I just think that that would go great. And I was nervous to put that on someone to put their life on hold and learn that song and that sort of thing. But guess what? It spawned into that record, and then it spawned into, people that I get to talk to online who, I heard from members of Kill Baby Kill, and I, like, about dropped my phone because they were like, that sounded cool, like, that's so cool, thank you for keeping that alive," and I was like, "Oh my god," like, it's just such a cool experience, and
Oh
so
yeah, I can imagine.
oh
I
my
can
god,
just
when I got
imagine.
that, I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I have those moments, when I'm up on stage and I got to do every time I get to sing with Sean, which I try to sing with Sean as often as possible because I am a huge Max Resist fan. Like, that's just I just love it. Like, I know all the songs, I love it, and, singing like that is just chasing your dreams and looking over and seeing Sean singing with you and sitting, you know, and singing with Roy and, you know, my even my husband, it's like I look and I'm like, "This is, like, out of body, like, still, this is crazy." And so, that one came out. Another song, that you guys can find me on that was recently released, one of Roy's bands, called Evil Inside, they just released, a record, and I was on a song called Eisenfaust, and you can find that one on the Evil Inside, record. It's called Freak Out, and you can find it online. I'm not sure exactly where you can find it,
Is it label 56 that's got that one?
yeah, and so you can find me on that one on Eisenfaust, and yeah, that one was super cool as well, but it's like, again, out of body experiences, it's super cool just to be able to do this. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it is awesome. Like you said, I mean, I'd love to be able to do it too if I ever, if I ever ended up trying to get a band going. If I could ever, if
yeah.
I gotta find all the band and get the gig going, that would be pretty awesome. I would
Dude,
be,
it's hard work. It really
yeah.
is. You know, behind the scenes, it's really hard work. So for my last show that I played, which was all the way back in 2017, because it is hard work, we practiced for 6 weeks before the show. Like, this is, you know, and it's a labor of love. It's something so cool. A lot of people will see, you know, videos online of bands and stuff like that and think, "Oh my god, I could totally do that." And then it's like when you have to put in the effort, it can seem daunting, but guess what? It pays off so well. Like just the joy that you can bring to yourself and kind of peace and just knowing that you're, like, doing something so authentic and putting it out in the world, it's so worth it.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's that's awesome, dude. You know, like you said, it's sorry, I don't mean to call you to that's just bad habit, but
No,
that's
you're
pretty
good.
cool. You know, that's pretty cool that you get to do something like that. And, you know,
Yep.
I've been a huge fan of most of those bands too. You know,
Yeah.
it's fun. And, I mean, it would be. I'd like to go see more of them. I'm just hoping that we can get some more shows going this year because the only one I know of that's happening is Hammerfest on a thinking there's something out on the East Coast that the AC Boys was talking
Mhm.
about doing. So there'll probably be a show out there somewhere. But I mean, like I'm just trying to think, like, when are we gonna see it like it used to be in the old days, where we could have 3 or 4 or 5, 6 shows a year? It'd be really nice instead of having to fly out to Europe to go see
No,
all the
for
shows.
sure. It sucks. It does suck. It sucks, but, you know, it's just something that we need to work through as a group and be dedicated to and eventually bring it back, and, you know, when I the funny thing about this record is when we were writing it, I was like, "Can we not do double lead guitars? Because how are we gonna play that live?" And so when you listen to this record, it's like it is so complex, like, you almost need to, and Roy would basically say that you have to put headphones on to listen to it, because it has so much depth to it. We really have put I mean, the layers on this thing is incredible. And so, you know, I really, like, look forward to the day that I do get to play these songs live. I know it's gonna happen someday, and I can't wait, but, you know, for now, just put your headphones on and, like, be be transcended into this thing because it's deep. It's straight up deep. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's what I'd suggest everyone do. You get to check out the music. And it should speak to you because that's the point of the music. It's supposed to speak to our souls. And if it doesn't, then I don't know what to say. But
Yep.
I know. I mean, some of the stuff obviously is more of, like you said, some of it's more anthem music where it's just kind of drink some beers and
Dude, I love that
stop
stuff.
your feet and
I love
stuff
it.
like that too. And then there's other stuff that you can just kind of take and just listen to and just kind of like, wow, that really spoke. That's kind of deep stuff and made me think more about some things. So
Yeah.
hopefully,
That's why I'm really excited too. I put all the lyrics in the liner notes. You can read them all and it's really cool. It's honestly I'm really excited that people are going to get physical CDs of this record. Um because there is that experience where, you can download shit, like, everyone can, I'm sure somewhere you can download a record, but you don't get that experience of the liner notes and looking at the pictures, and just know when you're looking at those liner notes, I've fucking placed every letter on there, and I fucking placed every little illustration, like, it's all on purpose. And when you look at the back, you'll see a bunch of studs and stuff. That's my own battle vest. Like, that's my own punk rock vest that I took a picture of, and I put, I made it all stylized and put text over it and stuff. But it's like these type of things, like, you don't have to be some well established artist to do all this shit. Like, you can do this, you can express yourself, and you're capable of this shit. Like, I do this shit in my spare time, and and so when you look at it, like, just know, like, this is from my heart, and I really hope you take the time out of your day to look at it.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope a lot of
Yeah.
people check it out and listen to it, and I'm sure you'll be getting invites to some of these European gigs and be able to go play in places like Poland and Ukraine, cool
I
stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like,
That'd be awesome, right?
I just, like, and I have gotten offers like that before. I do get offers even when, back when I just put out, just that one song even, they were like, "When are you coming to Europe?" And it's just it will eventually happen, and honestly, I, like, cannot wait. But it's one of those things where I take one step at a time. I couldn't think like that. I honestly just thought of this record as, like, me listening to it in headphones, and would I like this music? And then when I think about the fact that people around the world are gonna be getting this, and, like, someone in their car in Poland is gonna be listening to this, I trip out, because this is just, something that we put together and I wrote, and it's crazy. It's honestly crazy, the fact that, again, this sort of ideology in the scene, like, you can reach out to people. You can reach out to people all over the world. Like, it's really, like, technology fucking sucks in some respects, and yes, Facebook is trash and it fucking makes your brain bleed, but you know what? I get to talk to people and I get these opportunities. It's incredible. So, use your powers for good. Like, reach out to people all over the world. It's incredible. I hear from people, oh my god, I hear from so many countries. It's insane. Russia. I hear from so many people in South America, all over Europe, and I love hearing from all of you guys. And then, but, like, the obscure places where you're like, oh my god, they're into this too. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like to say, think probably Australia, New Zealand. You got any place where white people live, South Africa. You're gonna have people that probably end up listening to your stuff,
Dude,
and
that's
that's really awesome. That's one of those things that he's like, wow, that's pretty cool. And it might even go into some places like Japan or China or somewhere where they might decide they want to listen to it because they got a little. I know they got a little scene of like people that like listen
dude,
to
like, I
artists
have a
over
fucking smile on my face right now because 'cause I'm like, "That's fucking crazy." Like,
there, right?
I'm just a girl from Orange County who, has this vision in my heart, and I wanna communicate it, and it's so true. Like, because I put in this time, and because I dedicated myself, and just really worked at this, like, it just goes to show, like, people can fucking do this shit. Like, this is doable. Anything that you can do to further yourself and be part of this, like, you can fucking do it. You can fucking do it.
Right? No,
Yeah,
I agree. They should. They can and they should. And they should
yeah.
definitely go to try to do it. Even if it's just say, like, you don't put an album and you do something like old Lonesome Jones there, just puts out some YouTube videos playing your guitar, just singing some
Oh,
songs
dude,
when
I
you're nice
love
and half drunk.
You
you
know how
know?
many of those things I listen to, like, write this record? Because I don't play instruments. So what I do is I listen to other people playing their instruments, and it's incredible the amount of instrumentals that are on YouTube. It's just, like, people who maybe aren't in bands and they're just feeling the music, and they're good at their instruments, and they put that stuff on YouTube. Like, people are gonna listen to that and get inspired, but it's all part of the machine. It's like, if you're good at something, put it out there. and you're
Oh
gonna find a spot for it. I like if you can play the guitar and you put it on YouTube, I've probably watched it. It's bad.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's pretty good. I don't remember which one of the guys from Midtown Boot Boys it is, but I think it's Rip that's actually Old Lonesome Jones. But
Yeah.
he's got some pretty funny songs. Little. I'm gonna get drunk and play my guitar and just
Oh, yeah.
sing for everyone. Little short song.
That's the
Uh,
type of shit that matters. That's the
yeah.
type of shit that matters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it's really cool. It's awesome. I wish Bard would have put out a little more music on his channel, but apparently he doesn't want to. They don't really want to do music anymore, so that's okay. He made some pretty good videos when he was still on YouTube.
Is
I
he off
enjoyed.
YouTube now?
No, I'm pretty sure he got kicked off YouTube. The only videos you can find of him now are like those remixes of like other songs where he's like, "Let's find out," and they do that like 100 times, like it's
Oh my
Hammer
god,
Time
I know
music in the
exactly.
background.
One of my favorite Varg videos is and if you don't know who Varg is, definitely look him up. If so his band is Burzum. He is infamous for burning Christian churches in Norway who that
Yeah.
were built on ancient pagan sites. And he basically said that they desecrated our culture and this religion came and disrespected us. And so I'm a fucking burn your church down.
Well,
And he
technically, he denied he ever burned any churches. So, just for the record, he says he never burned anything, or he never murdered Hieronymus. He was just defending himself.
what
So
the
that's
hell?
that's
Yeah, then
that's
there's the Euronymous murder and blah 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 blah. But yeah, so Varg didn't burn churches or anything, but
yeah, I'm sure he did, but that's his story, and he's sticking to it. So I get it. Even though he
yeah,
did, they already did his time for it. I don't think they can come back and make him go
yeah.
back to prison for this shit. So,
But
but
he also did, if he says that he didn't do it, he also did a giant explanation on why he would do it, which is something that really spoke to my heart, which is like, these were ancient pagan sites that they just were
yeah,
like, well, this is my fucking spot now. And look at this giant church. And he was like, allegedly,
yeah.
he did not do that, but he did. Um, but but
Yeah, I
one of my
hear you.
favorite videos that he uploaded, which it was titled Varg and Women. And I was like, hell yeah, I cannot wait to watch this. Oh my God, what does he have to say? And it is something that's so interesting. I've honestly wanted to post it on my kt8 Facebook for a long time because he basically, like, number one, I am his nightmare woman. Like, nope, not gonna happen. All of the things that he talked about were these very traditional type things that really were just beautiful. Like if I could go back and honestly like think about the things that he said and maybe do some things differently, it's so true. Like he was really describing this very virtuous traditional woman, and it was really inspiring. And so if anyone has a chance, go watch that video on YouTube called Varg and Women. It's like the woman that he's describing, like, yes, exactly. I'm not her. I have tattoos and I fucking dye my hair, so it's not gonna work. And I have a mohawk and I would be his nightmare. But it's
Yeah,
like the things that he was describing and the way that this, person was. I highly, highly recommend people watch Varg's channel. It's called The Thulian Perspective. Um
yeah, but it's not on YouTube anymore. They took it off. They banned Varg permanently off of YouTube.
that sucks. That super
Yeah,
sucks. He's the
the
best.
only thing you can do is you put in this thing, and you might see him doing interviews with other people. Like the gold one still got his channel, so I think the gold one and him had a few collabs together where they were talking to each other. So they just
Yeah.
had a disagreement about Christians. That gold one was more. Gold one was more like, hey, I mean, there are still our white brothers, so I'm not gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna tell them they're a bunch of, morons. And Varg was like, well, they're just subversive. So
Yeah.
Varg's pretty anti-Christian, and I understand why. But I like to say they are, like Gold One says, they are still our people and stuff. So I wouldn't. You know what I mean? We can discuss the religion thing after all we've took care of the other problems. Once we have our own nations again or control of our own destiny, then we can talk about different religions and which style we should adopt and things of that nature. That's the question. That's the time for those questions. Is
Yeah.
after we've got our own nations and have the space to actually sit there and talk about it and do. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion.
Another funny Varg. I don't know if you heard of the recent Lords of Chaos movie that was made about the
Oh yeah,
whole.
I watched the movie.
Well, one of the things, so he obviously is very vocal. He was on YouTube. I just looked it up and it looks like he got deleted like a month ago, so it's fairly new. And so the studio itself, he refused, first of all, he refused to let any of his music into that movie. And he was like, these people they're not fucking representing me, blah blah blah. They got their revenge by having a fat Jewish guy play him in the movie, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
totally accurate. Like it's like pettiness sometimes of their like undercover, just their agenda. It blows my fucking mind. So having these things to say and this sort of view, they got their revenge by that. He was portrayed in the movie by a fat Jewish man, and on purpose.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did it as a way to get back to him. They didn't, and it might not even. I don't know the guy that was the dude behind making the movie was really in charge of that decision. I'm pretty sure that was more like some Hollywood executives were like, "Oh yeah, let's make him a
He didn't
Jew."
look like
You know,
him.
no, he did, but to be fair, like you said, it made him look a lot cooler than he is in real life. So hey, they made Bark look much cooler
Is the
than than
coolest.
than he was. Than the stories he tells about how his life was. So they make him look a lot more badass and like
I
just
didn't watch them.
all. Yeah, I watched the movie. It was pretty bad, but there was some funny scenes in it. And Varg was basically the like total badass of the movie, and everybody else was pretty much a bunch of fake wannabes and chumps, except for the dude that stabbed that homo in Norway. He was the
Yeah.
only other dude that seemed to be about what he was talking about. Because Varg was like, "You're gonna be about it. You're gonna do it." But it is. It was definitely some Hollywood propaganda. You had that Jewish propaganda in there. They were definitely taking their stabs at Varg, and they definitely promoted the kind of degeneracy he wasn't into. They had a lot of shit in there that he totally disagreed with, and I seen him actually make statements about this stuff. But yeah, I think we kind of went off into another rabbit hole about Varg.
But
you know,
he deserves it.
uh,
He's the coolest.
yeah.
Really sad his YouTube channel got deleted. That makes me sad.
No, he probably just doesn't care to bring it back. Yeah, I guess him.
Dude, his YouTube channel was the best. I loved it.
Right.
Big
There's my producer in the chats right now. I gotta say hi to him. But yeah, that's I don't even remember what I was gonna say. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little. I'm just kind of dozing off. My mind's wandering. Just it's getting a little late for me. So I was thinking. I don't know if
nice.
you want to kind of wrap it up or not, or if you want to
Yeah.
go for a little while longer. Or,
No, we're good. I think I said my piece. If you don't have any more questions for me.
I don't know. I'll ask anybody out there in the chat got any questions before we go, or I'll see if I can see anything. It's all quiet out in the chat, so I guess I'll go ahead and give you a chance to promote your album or any channels or
Yes.
causes or anything you want to before we go, and where to find you, where to find your music, if you're on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or something, you want people to follow the page and stuff like that. So let them
Yeah.
know where they can find you.
For sure. So I'm banned from all platforms, including Discogs. But the only one that is still standing is Facebook, and you can follow me at kt8oc. And I'm being a good girl on there, so I don't get banned. And yeah, so my debut album is called Wintress, and Mark, I'm not sure. Did you read the poem that I included in the liner notes?
I have it up in my Dropbox, but I didn't have
Okay.
a chance
No,
to
it's not.
actually.
I just wanted to see if you read it. But so I named the record Wintress after this beautiful poem that I'm not going to spoil it, but when you read the liner notes, it just like it just spoke to me, and it really kind of summed up the record and kind of me and what I'm all about and that sort of thing. So it's called Wintress. Like obviously I don't come from a very wintry place, Orange County. Like
No.
people might be confused like why is your album called Wintress? But it's kind of it's a deep meaning. So definitely check out the poem that I included in the liner notes. And yeah, it comes out on August 17th. It's 8 tracks and it spans so many genres. Like I said, there's even a ballad at the end. We've got thrash, we've got punk, we've got a mid-tempo TSOL type goth song. We got some rock and roll, we've got metal. It's everything. And so when you listen to it and you go through the different tracks, just go on the trip. It's just something. Just be open to the different genres that we did cover. And definitely if you like a certain track, send me a message. Tell me what you guys think about it. I definitely want to hear it. And if you hate it, I want to hear from you even more. DM me. And so yeah, so it comes out August 17th. And yeah, follow me on Facebook. And thank you for having me on today. This is rad. I'm just so happy that I got to discuss these things. I don't really get to talk openly about a lot of this stuff very often. I don't get to do that. And when I'm at shows, I usually, get off stage and I want to talk to people, but it's loud and I don't get to have meaningful conversations. So I'm really excited that this band does give me the opportunity to have those conversations with people. And again, I just encourage everyone to do what they can. And my parting note will be that you're not wrong, and your pro-white way of life, your pro-white way of thoughts, your disdain with current society, it's not wrong. You do not have to apologize for it, and like we're all here for you, and there are tons of people just like you. So that's it. That's all I
All
got
right.
to say.
Well, before we go, my producer for one of my shows, he wanted me to ask you how many tracks Roy plays on.
Roy plays on every one of the tracks.
Okay, well there you go.
So
Roy's your guitarist, so he's like for the guitars for every
yeah,
song you say. Okay, all right, cool,
Roy is
cool.
on there, and then we have Paul, who is in the band Brainwash and Blitzkrieg out of Europe, I'll just say. Paul took the tracks and made them all like 100 times more brutal. When we got back his drum tracks, we were like, "Oh my god, okay, we need to do okay, this is crazy." So yeah, it's Roy playing guitar, me singing, and then Paul on the drums. And it's a very collaborative effort. I worked very closely with Roy for a year and a half to create this record. And when you hear it, it's got that Orange County sound. There is no like you're gonna hear the opening track and be like, what the F? This is like this blast from the past. It's amazing because I wanted him to have that creative spark, and I love that stuff, and it's very apparent. But there's also brand new sounds from him as a musician, and so it's super cool. I'm very very proud of it, and obviously I thank him so much for just believing in me and taking time out of his life to really develop this. And it means the world to me. And it's awesome. He
Now
really
it's
pulled that from my skull. There's the bands, there's the people that I play with live, and they're everything to me, and I thank them till the end of time for achieving those dreams with me, and they've been by my side. But then I had to work with a new team to do this record, and just everyone putting in all this effort just because I have this passion for it. There's been so many people who have just been by my side, and I've tried to give up like twice, I think, like I just can't do this, and then everyone would encourage me. And so it's like, it's all hard, but there are so many cool people behind me, and I'm honestly really excited for people just to hear this record and be like, fuck dude, that sounds so fucking cool. Like I get that vibe from people when I do show it to him. So show it to them. So if you like Final War and you like what Roy's doing, then definitely check out kt8, because I basically gave him so much creative freedom. I was like, I wanted to sound like this, and then he would come back with that exact thing. And so, but like 100 times better. So yeah, he plays on every track.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I'm glad that Roy kind of took you under his wing and helped you out making that album and shit. That's super cool. I do got another question from the crowd here. They were saying he was asking you to cover either "Bound for Glory," "Stormtroop 16," or "English Rose" for your next cover song that you
Fuck yeah.
do. So
And
there.
yeah, so spoiler alert, I do have a cover on this record, but it is another Screwdriver cover. So I love doing covers only because, no, we like to, like, reimagine them and give them, like, a female perspective, but not in the way that you have to slow it down and sing it slow, like, so I cover Street Fight, the '86 version on this record, and we have, like, a straight up black metal opening, and it's just so fast and amazing, and so, I yeah, it people I love when people give me suggestions to cover because then I get to discover music and yeah, I sing all the time, so when I hear cool songs like that, like, yes, tell me more to cover because 'cause I'm excited about it.
Cool. That's pretty cool. I got one other comment. My
Yeah.
producer wants you to ask Roy or tell Roy to check his email for Hate Style Z. That's the guy that produces my music show, does all that stuff. So he wanted me to tell you that to you. So because I'm like reading the comments as we're kind of doing it. So if you see Roy, let him know to check his email for Hate Style Z because that's dude. He's does my stuff and he produces like the radio show I do, and he does a lot of he does his own music and stuff too. Him and my old producer Dion from Radio Werewolf used to produce his own electronic type music, and Hey Styles he does as well. And those two kind of worked together and did some stuff. So that's kind of how I got him doing my music show, which was pretty cool because he reached out to me and I was like, hell yeah, dude. I'd love to host a show where I could be the DJ and, pick out a bunch of songs to play and just cool shit like that, So I was like, awesome.
Yeah.
So like I said, we'll have you on there. I don't know what songs he's got lined up. It's probably I think he said it was a live version of something he did. So we'll put that on a
What?
upcoming episode.
Fuck yeah, send it to me.
I will. I will. I'll send you a copy of that covers one with the one with Max Resist on there, and I'll send that to you and your on your Facebook thing. So,
Cool. Yeah,
uh,
and then when the record comes out, I'll pick my favorite one and send it to you, but yeah, I'm just so excited for people to hear it. They're
awesome.
gonna
Yeah, I think I sent you an email, or I'll send you an email too, so you can send me the song through the email stuff. So,
yeah.
it's been a real pleasure having you on and talking to you again, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come hang out with me and have this live stream chat with me, and hopefully a lot of other people will see it and spread it and share it on your social media people so you can spread
Yes,
this interview and get the message out that your album's coming out August 17th. So we got
yes.
the link in the description. Go to hcstreetwear.com, I believe it is, but I don't know exactly. But it is in the link to the video, so you guys can find it. I got it linked right in there. Oh, sorry, it's hcstreetwear.net. So I got a link to the YouTube video, but like I said, it's www.hcstreetwear.net. That's where the album's going to be dropping from on August 17th. And everybody check it out. And until next time, this has been this week's episode of Wolfpack. Thank you, Katie, so much for coming on, and everybody else that watched. I appreciate it, brothers and sisters, 88, and y'all have a good night. All right. So, I should have been doing this before.